Hello, welcome back to the channel. My name is Lisa Elvin Stoltari, and I'm a genealogist and a passionate traveler. Over the last few years, I've been teaching each fille du roi, or king's daughter, and getting to know their stories a little bit better. There are over 700 of them. I'm on episode 234, if you can believe it. We've come so far. Got a long way to go, though. But before we explore today's episode, let me show you ways you can support the channel. The first three keep you in the know: subscribe, like, and notify. The next three are ways to help the channel grow. We have Coffee and Patreon, which are external platforms where you can donate, either sign up for a monthly contribution or give a certain amount. And we also have our YouTube button as well. That is a super thanks. And we also have the PayPal button on my Have Roots Will Travel website. Lots of ways to find a way to support the channel. I appreciate each and every one of you who has done so. You really are the wind beneath my wings. Thank you again. Let's get started and get to know our fille du roi of this episode. In episode 234, her name is Anne Langlois. She is a viewer request, and I do not have her in my files. Let's get to know Anne a little bit better. Born in 1651 in Paris, France. Her parents were Philippe Langlois and Marie Binet. She was actually baptized in the Church of Saint-Sulpice, which is found in the 6th arrondissement in Paris. As you know, Paris is laid out in circles, also called arrondissement. Now, the church that she would have been baptized in is actually the second largest church in the city, next to Notre Dame. Now, the church originally started in 13th century, and additions were made over the centuries up to 1631. The new building was founded in 1646. And can you believe she's born in 1651? So it would have been a brand new church. Anne of Austria laid the first stone of this church. So it goes to show you the historic nature of it. Something about the 6th arrondissement. It is called Luxembourg, which is an extremely cultural and educational area of Paris. And it's known for being the seat of the Senate. And its garden, which is situated on the rive gauche of the River Seine. It includes such world-famous educational institutions such as École nationale supérieure des beaux-arts, École des hautes études en sciences sociales. Some of the most famous monuments are also in this particular arrondissement. So it is absolutely one of those very famous ones that you go and you visit, and this is what, so she comes from that very historical and in history areas of Paris. So let's see her journey to New France. Upon her father's death, she left for New France with a dowry worth about £300. She would arrive in New France on July 31st, 1670, aboard the ship La Nouvelle France. Her mother, her new stepfather, and her brother would arrive sometime later. So she did eventually was reunited with her family. The groom that she would select, and who selected her, his name, René Cochon. He was born in 1640 in a place called Blériot, France. His parents were René Cochon and Charlotte Citole. He was born in the Centre-Val de Loire region. Inside of there, he's Indre-et-Loire département. The Blériot has about 5,200 people that live there now as of the 2020 census. The Saint Christophe Church dates from the 12th century, although the first church on this site was built by Saint Brice, who eventually became the Bishop of Tours. This church was destroyed later by the Normans, so a really historic. And then I've just gotten a little picture of the very picturesque town right at the very bottom of your screen, and then the bridge that joins it there. It's definitely a very beautiful little town in the center of France. France as a soldier and a surgeon. We do not know the name of his company, but we know that he was confirmed at Chambly in 1668. On November 10th, 1670, René and Anne were married at the Sainte Famille Church. So the family would settle on Ile d'Orléans, which is located on the St. Lawrence River, about 3 miles east of downtown Quebec. It was one of the very first places to be colonized by people from France because it kind of it resembled to them the richness and lushness of France in the places where they were from. You must understand as well that even though it's an island, it's subdivided into 6 sections. It's very important that you know what village your particular family came from. So we have Saint-Pétronille, Saint-Pierre, Saint-Laurent, Saint-Jean, Saint-Famille, and Saint-François. Each of those has their own church and their own history. So you need to absolutely understand the separations between them. And I was traveling there last summer, it was amazing to go from Saint-Pierre and then all of a sudden Saint-Famille, and they really are quite different. Now, the 1681 census finds René and Anne, and with their children, René, François, Anne, Marie, and 7 months. They have 1 gun, and they have 3 bêtes à cornes, which are 3 goats, and they have 6 arpents vanards, about 4 to 5 acres of land. They would go on to have 13 children. Louis would marry Catherine Dumas and have 5 children, 4 of whom survived. Catherine's mother was Marguerite Foix, who we profiled in episode 145. René would marry Jeanne Dubois and have 6 children, 5 of whom would make it to adulthood. François did marry Jeanne Plante, but no other information is available. Anne would marry Ignace Terrien and have 2 children, both of whom survived. Marie died at 29 without marrying. Marie-Madeleine married Charles Demers and had 2 children, both of whom made it to adulthood. Charles' mother was Marie Chef de Ville, a Philippe Marié that we profiled in episode 37. Philip married Marianne Dupuis and had 1 child who survived before his early death at 35. Marguerite Angélique died at 17. Véronique married Pierre Arcan and had 12 children, 6 of whom made it. Alexandre, we have no other information of. Rose married Jean-François Noux and had 1 child who survived. Georges, we don't have any other information, and we have an unnamed daughter who died at birth. He would die first on December 12, 1714, at the age of 74. He and Anne would have been married 44 years. Anne Langlois would live on another 10 years, dying as well in December of 1724 at the age of 73. She would leave behind her, she and René would leave 52 descendants as of 1729. And we're not finished with René. In the volume 12 of our French-Canadian ancestors, we find a profile of René Cochon de Laverdière, and go to our Free French Canadian Ancestors Facebook page. You can download the file and read this really informative little biography of René in addition to Anne. So have a look at that. When I was at Ile d'Orléans and got to see this monument up close and personal, it really was dramatic. And so the picture is a stock picture, the one on your left. But on your right is my own picture that I took and was able to just zero in. It was very blinding sunny, but I was able to zero in and take pictures of each of the sides because all the names are listed there. And here you can see René Cochon de Laverdière, and then we have Anne Langlois' name on there. And this bottom is from the book, and I just snip it and be able to, this is from the book that says all the inhabitants of Ile d'Orléans, the founding families. So you can have a look at that if you visit Ile d'Orléans. Here are some of my favorite resources. One of my favorites currently is the Société d'Histoire des Filles du Roi. They have produced quite a number of books, which is what kind of got me interested in them and understanding them. So definitely something to check out. All of these are extraordinary resources for you to be able to truly do more research on your family. So ends our episode 234 of Les Filles du Roi. Anne Langlois was a very special lady coming from Paris, from a very, I would say, culturally up, upwards. I don't know if she was upper class or not, but she certainly was a woman who came with 300 pounds value of a dowry and married a surgeon, established herself at the island of Orleans, had 13 children. Just a phenomenal, phenomenal woman who survived and was able to make certain that she would have descendants. Now, that being said, as of 1729, there were only 54 descendants. Not really sure where that comes from, but we know that the survivors are still around because I have a viewer who is a descendant. So please let me know in the comments below if you are a descendant. I always like to see that. And I also want to make certain that we honor Anne and her contribution. She was probably a helpmate to her surgeon husband. Certainly she was someone who wanted to be there and be a pioneer, and we can see the results of that on that famous statue. And she is mentioned in that profile of the book that I mentioned as well. So we honor Anne and we thank her for her gifts and for her sacrifice, and we bless her memory. Thank you so much, Anne. And thank you as well to my patrons, supporters, and subscribers. Thank you for each of your contributions, whether it be just sending me a suggestion or, hey, that was great, or, hey, did you think about doing it this way? I appreciate each and every one of you, and I am grateful that you're on this journey with me. Thank you so much, and I will see you on episode 235 of Les Filles du Roi. Au revoir.